Yo, your boy Roy Rips here. Just wanted to show what happened with my $100 bike real quick, so I thought I'd make a video. Even though it's pitch black out here, so I had to get the lights out, but you know. So this bike here, I bought this bike for $100 because the previous owner, they rebuilt this engine and they put these nice blue things on it too, and they could not get their engine to start after. So then they stripped it of all the parts that did work and left basically no parts on it, and then the parts that were on it, they were all broken, and left it in a field for like 2 years. And then he offered it to me for $100, and it was, I mean, covered in mud. It took me hours to pressure wash it clean. Like the shock was like completely packed full of mud and everything. It was bad. And well, there was no plastics, there was no seat, there was nothing, just an engine and a frame and tires. So I had to get everything. It took me a while just to figure out that it was a Apollo Orion and get the plastics, which now I kind of regret, because I think if I got the gas tank and stuff and plastics, I could have actually put the Honda ones on it. It's just I need a different gas tank. This gas tank is way bigger than the Honda gas tank, and that's the only difference, I'm pretty sure. I also completely customized the seat, because the seat was originally like, it came down like this and then like went up like that, and there was like no foam in it. It was like rock hard. So I put a little piece of wood across here, and then I put 3-inch piece of memory foam across here, made it a flat seat, which it's very, very comfortable now. I stripped it down to just the frame because it was spray painted black, like half of it, like the bottom half here, because they couldn't access the tops when they spray painted it. So I stripped it down to just the frame, I sanded it, I primed it, painted it, all that good stuff. Now it's this color blue. I also welded this block on here so that I could add these frame sliders in the perfect position, in the perfect length. I built my own brake bracket here so that I could switch this caliper to this much bigger dual piston caliper, which is actually off of 250cc bikes, like this one, these ones right here. And I could also made it so that I could put a 220mm rotor on the front instead of a 190. I also fabricated my own dual caliper mount for the back and upgraded these to the same caliper on the front. These big dual piston, calipers. And well, that's beautiful, isn't it? Whew. Love that dual calipers. I added on spools for the lift. I put these pegs, the same pegs that I'm using as my foot pegs on my Z125. They're actually made for a Honda Ruckus. I use those for like axle sliders on the back. I modified this brake pedal so that it actually came up higher because it was too low. I didn't like it. I bolted these on so that they're solid, so that you could hook your foot underneath them. I put a new exhaust on. I added these rear foot pegs that are welded on. I added this foot position for the center and just a little scrape block, protect the bike. And then this thing is removable, it's just bolted on. I put a bigger, better, stronger spring on the back so that it can handle being ridden. I obviously upgraded the handlebars. I put new risers in here, and I put the 2-inch pivot adapters, if you can see those, so that I could pivot the bars where I want them. I replaced all the electrical because there was no electrical, so I didn't really replace it. I added it, and I added an ignition, which I made a little bracket to mount it there. Obviously added an easy pull 1-finger clutch, like the 2-finger front brake. I took the quick twist throttle off because this bike has so much torque. It's got the rear handbrake here. Sorry, it's dark, I know. Sorry. This I got for $20 off of Amazon, and it actually works really well, mostly for just $20. Like, I haven't touched this bike, and look, there's still perfect pressure on this brake, and I have it adjusted to the perfect spot so that it doesn't squish my fingers. That's why it stops right there. And this clutch is so easy to pull. I added these so that I could add lights eventually here, because I do have a battery and a battery mount all made. I just have to weld on the brackets because I made it so that it bolts on and bolts off. These axle sliders, I tried to get more because I got these from Temu for $10. They're like 1/8 inch thick, if you can see that. Yeah, the black part in there, because the red part screws on over top of the black part. They're freaking amazing, and I've tried ordering ones that looked identical, and when they came, they're super thin like the crap ones that you usually get. I cannot get any more of these. I wish I really could, because $10 for these is amazing, because they're great. And I even actually use them. You can see the scratch marks. I actually could use my the V bracket on my lift to lift the front end using those, which is handy. It's got racing ignition, like the racing ignition coil and wire. It's got a Nibby carburetor on it. It's a 22 millimeter Nibby, and it freaking works really well because I was having lots of issues with tuning and stuff. And it's got the uni air filter. It's got the adjustable CDI, so you can set the rev limiter, or there's also 8 different like racing setups that you can change to. Put the red tag chain on, and I always forget about this stupid hour meter. I hate it. It does not turn off by itself. You have to turn it off every time that you use the bike. So dumb. I had to put a new kickstand on that was longer because of the tires and stuff. I put obviously a new shifter, which there's very few shifters that fit this. This is actually made for a Honda CFR 150 because there is no clearance here, as you can see. So you have to use like this specific one. It's the only one I could find that would fit here and actually work. And then the most expensive thing that I did to this bike was Supermoto rims with freaking brand new PMT super soft slick racing tires. Yeah, it's a 190/12 on the front. And what do we got on the back here? I forget. We got a 120/80/12 on the back. They were black, but they had a lot of paint chips on them, so I painted them with a primer, and then I did 5 coats of this color, which is an enamel paint, and then I did 5 coats of clear coat on top of that, so that paint job is going to last. The only problem with this bike is this is a brand new master cylinder I put on here, and it will not pressure up. It does not work at all, so I got to switch it out. Because I reverse bled it and everything, and it still won't work. I did everything you possibly can, it just does not work. It's just broken, defective from the factory. New gas cap, mirror. Yeah, that's about it. But, oh, and the plastics. So, the only problem with the plastics for that bike is you cannot get any kind of decals for them. I looked and looked and looked and looked and searched everywhere. I want a decal so bad for them, so I did this. Ta-da! I printed off, I got sticker sheets that you can print on, and I designed this camo pattern using an AI program, and then I printed it on the sheets of sticker paper, and then I got these holographic laminating sheets and laminated the stickers, because the laminating sheets are waterproof and scratch resistant and all that. And then once I put them on the plastic like this, I clear coated this whole thing just to seal up the edges and everything, make sure that it's all sealed, waterproof, UV resistant, all that good stuff. So these decals should last a long time. It's very tedious work making templates and everything, because the way I did that was, you see these clear envelope things. I'm gonna put the phone down for 1 second, sorry. Of course I grabbed a crappy one for an example, but either way, I took these and I just laid them on the plastic and traced out where I needed to make the decals. And then I took a piece of tracing paper on top of this, traced it onto the tracing paper, fitted up the tracing paper until I made sure it was perfect, and then I put the tracing paper onto cardboard like this right here, like cardstock, and traced it onto that, cut that out, and had templates. And I'll show you. There we go. So, yeah, there's all the tracing paper. And these are all the templates, as you can see. So, yeah, for the rear fender, for the front, all that good stuff. And the nice thing is, you make one and you can use it for both sides. You just flip it over, right? And, let's see, there we go. This is all the decals to do the other front plastic, like the one I was showing you there. And this is the decals to do the rear fender. And I have a piece of grip tape, because where that foot position is, directly under it, the decals are going to get scratched up when you put them on and off with under that thing, and from your foot being there. So I'm going to put the piece of grip tape across the decals there just to protect them basically and make it more grippy for you. So yeah, that's my my $100 bike I turned into a mini supermoto stunt bike. I think it came out pretty good. I'm happy with it. Yeah, I wanted to just show you guys what happened with that bike, because I don't think I ever made the video to show you on YouTube. Right now I'm working on making my 12 bar for my Kawasaki Z125. Here's how it's coming. This is the one piece I've got made. I got, you know, lots of pieces of tube there, and pieces of tube there, and more pieces of tube there that I have ready to, you know, finish it, and also making the crash cage. Oh. The other thing I have made so far is the mounting plate under here, which I am about to weld that other piece onto this piece so that, you know, they're attached. And my plan for it is then using the passenger foot peg mounts. I spread these open a little bit more than they were, as you can probably see the angle of them, so that those pieces of tube actually fit right in here, so I can bolt it in there. And that piece of tube goes up to the foot peg right about here, and then the piece that I have made in there, that'll be welded onto here. It's gonna have two bars coming down from, you know, this angle, and then one from this angle on the top, and this one will come basically to the bottom of the foot peg. And I'll have the foot peg, you know, I figure about here, and it'll stick out pretty far. I used this as like a, trying to figure out how much of a distance I need so that it's, you know, will allow you to get to 12 o'clock when you scrape. And I also had to compensate for the fact that the bike's on a lift right now. It's pretty high up. It's not, you know, yeah. Hopefully it all works out. I mean, I can always tweak it more after. This is just the first time I'm making one, and it's always the first one that's hard. After that, it's super easy, because the first one you got to freaking figure out all the measurements and all the dimensions and stuff. So yeah, once I get one built, I can, you know, make small changes and stuff to it and just build another one. And yeah, it should be super easy to build another one. This will be the foot pegs. They're a little bit bigger diameter than this stuff is. So yeah, this will have, where are they? Oh, they're over here. These tubes are actually smaller diameter than the other ones, as you can see. So it'll have one going from there, and one going from, like, you know, further up, so that they're making like a nice V shape, triangle shape, like that, to this foot peg here. And then it'll also have the bar coming up from the passenger foot pegs. Woo. Because, yeah, so that will fit right in there, and I can just bolt it on. And yeah, it will come out like where it sits. I gotta spread that open and wire again. But either way, where it sits, it'll actually be a little further out on the foot peg here, where the other two bars will be like a little bit further back, like an inch or two back. But it should work perfectly. And then the crash cage will be super easy peasy. And yes, yeah, I put these foot pegs on my bike because I'm 6 feet tall and I have size 13 shoes. I could barely shift the bike, upshift the bike because I couldn't get my foot underneath the shifter because it was so close to my foot. I have a new shifter coming, an aftermarket shifter. I have an exhaust coming. I also have a bigger 33 tooth sprocket coming. I also have the heavy duty clutch kit coming. I already changed my handlebars, 1 finger clutch, easy pull, all that good stuff. I obviously did the tidy tail, or tail tidy. And yeah, I have a bunch of parts coming. I'm also changing the brake pedal on there because I hate that brake pedal. Yeah. I will be replacing it with this nice foldable one. Boop, 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 boop. And then I can change the distance that it's at if I want to, and such. And the brake pedal that's on there now, it's actually angled like this. Like, it drives me nuts, the fact that it's angled. It just annoys me to see it like that. So yeah, I can't wait for all my upgrades to come. Sadly, they're not going to come probably till Monday or Tuesday. Like, all of them are going to come Monday or Tuesday. And of course, tomorrow is my group ride with the Mini Moto Mob, so I wish I had them for tomorrow. Mostly my exhaust, because all the other bikes are so loud that I cannot hear my exhaust whatsoever when we're in that group ride. Which is kind of annoying. Like, I like to hear my bike. Also, I scored this. I saw it on Facebook for 40 bucks and I went and picked it up. I didn't realize how much these things cost. This is brand new. It was never installed. And I went, since after I picked it up, and it had the company and stuff here, so I went and Googled it. To order this thing right now, it would cost me $550. Freaking insane. I had no idea these were so expensive. Like, I only seen one once before in a video, so like, I knew nothing about them. It's actually a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. And I also thought it was only for dirt bikes, but no, this thing can attach to any bike. It can even attach to my Z125, which is what's going to happen. So, it actually came with this really long bolt, and it's made for bikes with the hollow axle. It goes through the hollow axle, and oh no! Wow, I'm gonna have to edit that out. So, it goes through the axle, and it goes through one of these holes. You pick one or whatever to bolt it on. And then it has spacers here, like big foam spacers, to bolt it onto the swing arm here. And yeah, so, but for a bike with solid axle, they sell these T-nuts, which basically it screws onto the threads. I'd have to turn this axle around. And after it screws onto the threads, this big hole fits over it so that you can bolt this onto it. So they want it $45 each for one of those, and I would need a 14 mil for this one and 12 mil for my Z125. But I came up with a better idea. All I did is I ordered axle for my Z125 that is, I think it's 30 or 40 millimeters longer than the one that's on there, so that basically I'm going to swap out the axle and I'll have extra threads coming out, and I'll just put them through one of these holes and bolt it on. Easy peasy. And that thing only cost me $18 from Amazon, and it comes on Saturday. So on Saturday I will bolt this thing up to my Z. Yeah, I can't freaking wait. So this thing has, a hole. You can, spin this to whatever direction you want. Also, this arm right here, I have it set at the shortest right now, but you can extend this arm way out, make it way longer if you want to. And yeah, so basically you can just keep changing the height, and you can make it, I see right now where it's set, this thing would be really low, like it would be almost touching the ground, like just at stock height. but I have it set like, you know, the lowest it can go. But yeah, you just keep increasing it to as you get more and more confident, because I feel like it'll be a lot easier to learn how to wheelie when you're not so scared to loop the bike, because you have this thing to stop you from looping the bike. It's gonna be awesome. And yeah, you just keep making it higher. And I mean, really the goal is to not have to use this thing. It's just there as an emergency backup in case you do start to loop the bike. This will stop you. And this thing is heavy duty. It is made out of aircraft grade aluminum, and it is 1/2 inch thick everywhere. Like this piece is all 1/2 inch thick. This I mean, it's not 1/2 inch thick, it's less, but you know, this piece is like huge, 1/2 inch thick too. Like, I'm sure the aluminum this thing is made out of probably cost almost $200 alone. Not to mention all the work to machine all this, like cutting all this out, all these holes and stuff. Like, it's crazy. I can't believe I could pick this up for $40. Man, like, I had no idea what I was actually getting until I got it, and I was like, holy cow. And yeah, I went there on my Z125 because that's all I have for transportation. And it was literally on the other side of the city, where normally I would take our ring road called Stony Trail, but it's like a highway basically. And I can't take it on the Z, so I had to drive through the whole city. It took me an hour to drive there. And I didn't realize how big and heavy this thing was, so I had to stuff this thing in my backpack, this backpack. It was sticking out. I had to take the back part, the back arm apart, but the blue arm was sticking out the top of my backpack. So, and it was heavy as hell, man. My shoulders were sore because I had to ride an hour home with it on my back. But it's totally worth it, man. $40 for that thing, that's amazing. The house I picked it up from is in a brand new area called Bears Paw, where it's basically like $10 million houses everywhere. And they're still being built. Like, his house is brand new. It was a beautiful house. So yeah, money wasn't an issue for him. That's for damn sure. But yeah, I just wanted to, you know, show you guys that stuff. Update you guys. This video is a lot longer than I intended, so I'm get my ass back to work on my 12 bar because I want to get wheeling this thing. But I got this thing now, so on Saturday, once I get the axle here, I can install this bad boy. Or if I get lucky, it might show up tomorrow, the axle, because sometimes when things are like a week out, they show up a day early sometimes, so that'd be nice. Because I got my spark plug and a bunch of things showing up tomorrow. And today I got a bunch of things. Oh, I got memory cards, better memory cards for my new GoPro 12, because it was saying my memory cards weren't good enough for high quality. I also started to try a pair of these gloves because they are one of the top sellers on Amazon, like tons of reviews, and they're pretty. I like the blue because, you know, it goes with my blue handlebars and stuff. And yeah, they're comfortable. I tried them out. I went for a ride, and they're very comfortable. I like them. They got a lot more protection than the gloves I'm currently wearing, which is these ones. Mind you, this whole box is literally actually completely full of brand new gloves, I think. Yeah, it is. It's literally all brand new pairs of gloves, like Thor gloves, gas gloves, 100% gloves, fly gloves. And they're all brand new. Like, the fly ones I wore like twice, that's it. The rest are literally brand new. So I gotta stop buying gloves, man. This is wasting my money. But I like having nice gloves. I like how these ones look, even though they have no protection. These ones are more logical to wear because, you know, good protection. I actually want a pair of in-bike ones that are like mesh and breathable, but they have like foam in them. I don't know. They look really good, and tons of people have told me to get them. So that's going to be my next set. But alright, I'm out. I'm going to get my ass back to work. Till next time, guys, I'm Roy Rips. Peace.